Hello, everybody, and welcome into Perspectives. I'm your host, Sam Jones, and if you're a veteran or you know a veteran, you better give them a call because they're going to want to see what you're fixing to hear. Our guests today are Justin McGowin and Dylan Brushaber.
Yes, sir.
I did it. Got through it all. Good to have you guys with me. And what we're talking about is the big hiring event coming up next month.
Yeah, absolutely.
A little bit about it. What all is going to happen?
Well, yeah, so October 9th, we'll be bringing into our Tulsa office, located at the old Eastgate Mall. We'll be having about 30 employers on site, a number of resources, veteran service organizations that are committed to helping veterans, and we're going to be helping veterans find jobs. So if you need to come in, get some help on your resume, we'll be there to do that, and then you can go right into talking with employers that are interested in specifically hiring veterans.
Smooth move.
Yeah.
Really is. Are there many veterans out there that are having problems finding work, Justin?
I don't know if veterans specifically are having trouble finding work. The employers that I deal with, building the professional network, that's part of my job as the local veteran employment rep. Most of the employers seem to be really adamant on wanting to hire veterans and knowing a lot of the soft skills that they already have and possess, they're wanting to bring them on. If anything, employers are telling me that post-COVID, that it's hard to keep people coming in and showing up every day. So if there's anything that you know about your veteran counterparts and about their work ethic, is that they show up every day, 15 minutes early generally.
Yeah, ready to go roll up their sleeves and do whatever has to be done. Veterans are a different breed of cat, male and female, and both are affected by what they saw, what they went through, as were both of you. Now you're with the Employment Security Commission. You get to say, join hands with folks, company meet veteran, veteran meet company. Got to be a satisfying role.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we love to have those success stories. I know I had one veteran, she came from out of state. She was kind of fleeing a not so great situation, came here with her kids with really nothing. Came to us, we were able to help her find housing through our network of resources, and she got a job at a local hospital that was close to her daughter's daycare, and it really works out, and that's why we do the job. We want to be able to help veterans. You know, I know when I got out that I struggled to find purpose, and I think that's a big thing that a lot of veterans struggle with, and a lot of that stems from employment and finding a job where they feel that team dynamic that they may have felt in the military and that they have a shared common goal that they want to participate in the workforce.
So they're anxious to roll up their sleeves.
I would say so.
And if employers are anxious to have them do that, then it's a happy mix.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's
Very
good.
much so.
That's a good thing. Justin, what's your role? What do you do to help bring the two together?
I do. So I build a professional network of employers that want to prioritize hiring veterans. If they don't already have something in place where they have something where they prioritize hiring veterans, then I help build or develop it. I also help with any kind of OJT in the state, which is on-the-job training for veterans. We can get that covered, paid training while they're learning their job at places, and also with apprenticeships. So we can cover the cost for a lot of these different avenues that these veterans can try. If their current MOS doesn't equate to a civilian job, we want to be able to give them training for something else. And so this allows them to do that. It's one avenue.
What's the date? When's the big date of this get-together?
October 9th.
October 9th?
And we have another event as well that will be a resource event in November.
There must be a lot of folk out there who are veterans who would love the opportunity to get together with you guys. Where's it going to be?
It'll be at the old Eastgate Mall, so it's 14002 East 21st Street in Tulsa, Suite 825. We're on the west side of the building. That's the only way that you can access our office is from the outside of the mall. We're right next to RadNet.
I'd like to know why then. I think I have a suspicion, but why should a company be interested in hiring a veteran?
Well, there's multiple reasons that a company would want to hire a veteran, and we discussed one about them being aptly on time, 15 minutes early, timeliness. But I have 10 that I'll share, and I won't go into too much detail, but they're on an accelerated learning curve, meaning that if you show them, you generally can teach them one time, one and done. They'll learn it once, and then they can do it on their own or teach it to others generally pretty quick compared to their peers. Leadership, we're ingrained to, once you've been in the military, you've gone through 4 years in the military, your natural progression is that you're going to become a leader. You start having people under you and you have that leadership instilled in you. Teamwork dynamic, again, like Dylan said, when you go when veterans are going for employment now, when they're going for jobs, they want to still feel a lot of the same mission and ethos and company goals and values that they did in the military. That doesn't, like you said earlier in our conversation, that doesn't change. They also like being a part of teams that have lots of diversity. They have respect for procedures. Technology and globalization, they've already been most of the time deployed to different parts of the world.
I don't want to dwell on this because I told you before we get out here, I'm not going to talk about it. But I am going to talk about it because it's that elephant in the room. The number of veterans under 50 who commit suicide is very high. And there are varying reasons. But sometimes when you think about it, it's obvious. These guys are trained. They're disciplined. Guys and gals are veterans. They want to do something. They want to put what they learned to work in the civilian force. Am I reading that correctly?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think that's a big thing that we talked about a little bit earlier about finding purpose outside of the military. And every situation is different, as you said, as well. But finding purpose is a big thing. And so you have that in the military where you're working together with people toward a shared goal. And that's hard to find in the civilian sector as you go talk to different employers. You want someone that your goals, your sense of responsibility, your mission on this earth aligns with. And that can be hard to find, and we want to help those people find that.
Got about a minute left. The big get-together is the 9th.
Yes, sir.
And what are the hours?
11 to 3.
Have you got a website people can go to?
We do have a website. We have a flyer. We can share that with you as well.
Go right ahead.
Okay.
I mean, what
The companies can pre-register on the website. We're only going to have a limited seating. So since this is a reoccurring yearly event, we had about 24 participants last year and 156 job seekers that came through. So this year we have about 30 employers that we're aiming at, and with everyone that participated last year having kind of the front row seat. So those 24 are already almost pretty much confirmed. We have about 6 to 8 slots that we're going to be inviting for anyone else.
We're out of time. I wish we weren't. Keep us posted on how it goes, will you?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
And maybe we can get you back and talk more about it. I got a feeling your numbers are going to grow. And thanks to both of you and the work you're doing.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
We're going to be back with more right after this. Our next guest is Cameron Walker, President and CEO of Green Country Habitat for Humanity. Welcome, my friend.
Pleasure to be here.
Good to have you. I am a strong supporter of your group, by the way. I think you guys do wonderful work.
Well, thank you so much.
How long have you been with them?
I have been with Habitat. I'm working on my 10th year, so I joined in 2015.
I guess you've seen a lot of development in the time you've been there, haven't you?
A little bit. We've made some fundamental changes as an organization. My first year, we completed 1 new home, and this calendar year, we're on track to complete 90, which will put us in one of the top 5 home-producing habitat affiliates out of over 900 in the United States.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Jimmy Carter was involved, I remember, with Habitat for Humanity, and that seemed to spark a lot of interest among a lot of people all over the country.
Absolutely. Having a former president use his platform and pick affordable housing and push into Habitat, I think is one of the single greatest contributors to Habitat for Humanity blowing up and really becoming a household name, you know, across the country.
I'm sitting here trying to remember. Do the residents pay for the home, or how does this work?
Absolutely. So we do not give away homes. What we do is we provide all of the upfront education, and we provide, our subsidy that we provide is called forgivable down payment assistance. So we bridge the gap between what their income can actually afford and what the cost of the home is. And so it requires a lot of work and a lot of effort on their part. They have to stay in the home for at least 5 years. And if they do all of that and they stay in good standing with their lender, at the end of 5 years, that forgivable down payment assistance is forgiven and that equity is injected into the property. And so
No
when we're
kidding.
talking about the household wealth disparity between white and black households, this is one of the fastest ways for a minority or a single head of household family to really build meaningful wealth.
And it becomes a win-win-win situation
Absolutely.
all the way around. Golly, what a neat way to do it. You've got a Black Wall Street Square groundbreaking event. What's that about?
So in January, we broke ground. We are co-developing a 25-unit owner-occupied townhome development on Martin Luther King Boulevard Jr. in North Tulsa. And it's a really unique project where we partnered with a private African-American developer to make it a mixed income community. So about 8 of those units will be developed by a company called McGee Enterprises Incorporated. They will actually be slightly larger units, be sold on the open market. The 17 interior units, they will be Habitat units, and we'll do all of the magic we do with down payment assistance and education. And so it's really a test case to see if these mixed income communities can work. And all indications are that, all boats rise, in a rising tide. And so we're very excited about this project. And the name of the development actually came from McGee Enterprises, and it's brought a lot of fanfare, both locally and nationally, from a number of vendors who have contributed.
You must have a lot of folks out there that take a look at what you're doing and say, you know what, I'd like to be a part of that.
We do, and to kind of, expand on that, we actually have other habitats from around the country that are coming to visit us in Tulsa to see what we're doing and how we're doing it. And so I give all the credit to our board of directors to kind of buying into some of our ambitious plans. We really just want to be able to scale this. It's great building a few homes each year, but if you can put 200 new homes in an area of town that isn't seeing investment and development, that's a huge win for us. And it helps those families because there's strength and power and security in numbers.
And the number, the money that rolls back, as you've already mentioned, is an incentive for the new homeowner to keep it up and to take care of it because it becomes such an important asset, not only to the person that's living there, but to the community in general. Absolutely,
and I use the analogy of a rental car. We've all rented a car. You tend to drive a little faster, you might brake a little harder, but when that car is yours, you have an incentive to take care of it. And it's the same thing in the real estate world. So you're exactly right. People take care of things that they own because it's an appreciating asset. And we do a lot of education, making families aware of what the power of owning real estate over time can do to their household wealth.
We got a Blitz build with Clark Howard groundbreaking. 6 homes, that's an annual event.
Yeah, and actually, so we're coming back together this Saturday to celebrate the dedication of all 6 of those homes. So Clark will be in Tulsa Saturday morning with us. All of our sponsor companies are coming back together. So we're going to get to celebrate handing off the keys to 6 new families in this North Tulsa neighborhood.
That's great. Now this is what we're seeing here?
So no, this is Buena Vida. This is a new 19-home development in East Tulsa. And it is our first kind of large-scale community, And that neighborhood itself is actually governed by its own homeowners association. So
Really?
we're really trying to empower our home buyers and residents to take ownership. And we really think that this is kind of the way of the future for us.
Women build?
Women Build, we actually celebrated that yesterday on 918 Day. We came together and raised the walls on 4 new homes. And it's important because over 3/4 of the families we serve are female head of household families. And it also is drawing attention to opportunities for women in construction. It's no surprise that the labor market in construction is shrinking. We've done a great job educating people about going to college, but the net effect is it's had a downward kind of pressing effect on our trade schools. And so we're really trying to show that there's opportunities to make a great living, make an impactful career in construction.
I want to just read through some of the impact information I've got here. That in 2020, there were 23 homes, 2021, 26, 2022, 34 homes, 2023, 53, 2024, 64, but you have a goal in 2025 of 90 homes
Correct.
completed. Isn't that pretty ambitious?
It is, but you know, while I'm here getting to kind of take credit and kind of show off all those great stats, I'm really supported by a fantastic crew back at our offices. We've got some amazing professionals that I think that's only going to be the tip of the iceberg of what we can do. So we're doing all that we can to make a dent in the severe need for affordable housing in Tulsa.
We got about 30 seconds. Somebody out there seeing this for the first time, hearing about the insides of it, how do they help if they're not going to come on project and hammer and nail? What can they do?
Well, there's a number of ways. Obviously, we're a nonprofit, so we will gladly take a cash donation at greencountryhabitat.org. But you can also make donations and shop in one of our 4 area restores. In fact, we've got a great location here in Claremore, and we've got 2 in Tulsa and 1 in Broken Arrow. So every time that we get donations there, we can refurbish and turn around and sell those materials. And every dollar that's raised in our restores actually contributes to building more and more affordable housing in Green Country.
You know you're doing the work of a higher power.
Well, I won't go there, but thank you very much.
Listen, thank you for coming by and talking with us. We really do appreciate it. And God knows we appreciate the work you're doing.
Well, thank you, Sam.
Good results. Short break. We'll be back with more after this. Robert Shornick is the superintendent of Catoosa Public Schools, and he's our third guest today. Good to have you, my friend.
My pleasure. I'm
I'll
glad to be
talk
here.
to you a few minutes and I instantly like you.
Well, thank you.
How are the schools in Catoosa?
So right now, it's an exciting time at Catoosa Public Schools. Matter of fact, 4 weeks ago, we opened up probably one of the largest elementary schools in Northeast Oklahoma. It's a little bit over 100,000 square feet. It's a brand new, gorgeous, phenomenal facility that has great teaching and learning space. And that was a big moment for Catoosa. There was a lot of trials that we had to go through to get bond issues passed.
But you did it.
But we did it. We did it, and we celebrated that opening 4 weeks ago. And of course, all of our teachers have moved in. It's an elementary school that houses pre-K through 3rd right now, but we're going to add on an additional wing for our 4th and 5th grade. So this time next year, when I'm coming back to talk to you, Sam, we'll have pre-K through 5 at our brand new elementary school.
That's incredible. You know, I got to tell you, it seems as though, and this gives me a chance to say something publicly that needs to be said about education. I feel like the politicians of our country are using teachers and principals and superintendents as whipping children to get reelected. And I don't think it's fair.
Well, you know, you and I had this brief conversation prior to this interview, and I'm just, you know, for me, it's I can summarize it into one phrase. It's just they're zapping all of the fun out of it. We truly just want to show up and care for kids. We want to support our teachers. We want to value our community. We want to wrap our arms around those kids that experience those traumatic experiences, but also celebrate some of the wins. And it just seems like every single day we are constantly having to comply with some type of new State Department rule or regulation. We're having to comply with some type of new piece of legislation, and it's taking all the fun out of it.
Well, with all due respect to you and to your wonderful teachers, I gotta tell you, I think what's happening in this country is so unfair to education and the people involved in it, yourself included. I don't understand why they think educators are weak people, but that seems to be the attitude they want to shove down our throats as voters. And you're not. The strength, and we were talking about this before we started taping, the strength, I think, comes from recognizing when a child goes from listening intently to going, oh, I understand
It's
that.
that light bulb moment.
Yeah, it's just like you can see it.
Right.
And I had aunts that were teachers, and they even then knew.
And so that magic, it happens in the classroom every single day. And I think that you recognize that. Most people do recognize and they do acknowledge the fact that for that true transformation to take place, it happens with that classroom teacher. And so we're blessed to have very passionate, driven teachers at Catoosa. And for us, when we step into a classroom, you see that magic, you see that light bulb come on. And that's that aha moment for the day, if you will. And so I try my very best to kind of funnel out or filter out some of the minutia and some of the noise that's coming down from whether it be, you know, the political realm or the State Department realm, and just making sure that I show up every single day and provide that necessary support for our folks. Because that's what they're looking for, Sam, more than anything else.
I'm not going to try to draw you into a political discourse.
Right.
I don't want to put you on the spot. God knows you have enough spots that they put on you.
I do make a lot of decisions every day. I'm not going to lie to you.
A lot of times, my wife and I were watching local news the other night, and I was struck by the fact of here we go again. They're after education, and it's not a matter of let's improve education. It's a matter of I need to use education as a springboard to this office.
Right. You're spot on. And so for us, I think sometimes they miss the boat. And let me explain a little bit more. Some of our kids are not a test score. And I think that you recognize that and you see that and you've acknowledged that. They are not a test score. Some of our kids are simply showing up every single day because they need that caring adult. They come from a very traumatic experience. And so for us personally, it's like the challenge or the mission for us is to make sure that we provide that necessary support for them to be successful, whether it be academically, athletically, activity-wise, maybe in the arts, maybe some type of career path or career opportunity. That is our main goal. It's not a test score. It's truly not that test score that we're looking for. Now, are we judged? Are we evaluated? Are we, again, just evaluated on test scores? We are, Sam. But for us, it's like the light at the end of the tunnel for us is, what are they going to do when they graduate Catoosa High School? You know, is it that college path? Is it that career path? Is it that military path? Did we provide the opportunities as a school district to our kids to explore and to get to roll up their sleeves and get their hands dirty, if you will, in regards to something that they're passionate and they're hungry about?
And you're trying to do that.
That
And
is
you're
our
trying
goal.
to do that in light of political discourse that does
Yes.
absolutely no good. None
Exactly.
whatsoever. Hey, we're out of time. Will you come back?
Absolutely. Anytime.
I'd love to have you back.
Anytime.
In fact, I'd love to come down and go through the new facility.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to take you up on that.
Please come by anytime.
Thank you very much for taking time to visit with us.
Thank you.
We're all out of time. Thank you for being a part of it, and we'll see you back here next week.